Your aura has to be the number one thing that you work on, especially when it comes to social interactions, when it comes to your presence, when it comes to like how people see you, how people have this perception of you. It all comes down to aura. You can have the physique, you can have all of the other things, you can have the money, but you also can be a person with no aura. So you have to understand there is a framework for developing a pro level aura. I'm going to give this to you so that you understand it, so that you can develop this for yourself, and you'll start to see how people react to you and what you signal to people and how that interaction will start to change. So this framework works as such. There are three different things you have to focus on. The first is authenticity. The second is lore. The third is frame. These are the three things in terms of a framework that you need to develop unstoppable aura, especially coming into 2026, because I will tell you this, the man with the most aura during this time is going to win. Is going to win in every social interaction, is going to win in every business interaction. He's going to win overall. So when it comes to authenticity, this is what you have to understand. To develop a high level of authenticity, which a lot of men do not have nowadays, and it's very rare. One, you have to own all of your insecurities publicly. Every insecurity that you have, own it publicly. Because the minute that you own your insecurities publicly, the minute that nobody can weaponize it against you, which then gives you massive amounts of charisma, right? The second is not doing anything that you don't want to do. There are so many times, and I struggled with this before in the past, where you feel like you're doing things that you genuinely just don't want to do. People are dragging you into places you genuinely don't want to go. And your aura will start to lower because of that. You will start to have a negative 2,000 drop when it comes to your aura levels, right? So it's very important to make sure that you're doing everything that you truly want to do. If you're not, you're working on somebody else's script that they've written for you that you need to start to work on for yourself and build your own life script, build your own life story. That is pure authenticity. A lot of people are running on other people's life stories that they've written for them. And that is why they're in the place that they're in, unsatisfied and extremely demotivated to do anything in life. The third, don't eat anything you don't want to eat. It's the same exact principle, right? When it comes to authenticity, you eat exactly what it is that you want to eat. Now, obviously, if you're getting into fitness, you want to be in shape, etc., you're going to eat the foods that you want to eat to get the body that you want, of course. But you're not going to just go out and eat whatever because you want to please other people. The whole point is you have to stop giving a fuck about what anybody thinks about you in general. Any person who can master that, their aura levels are through the fucking roof, because everything that they want to do, they'll be able to have. They'll be able to do. Everything that they want to have, they'll be able to have. Every interaction that they have is going to be bulletproof. People will start to look up to you. People will start to actually process the presence that you have in a way where they're like, this dude has crazy aura, right? The next is say what you mean and mean what you say. This is the base level of authenticity. Never say something that you don't mean. Say it from your chest, because the minute that you say these things from your chest, and you start to speak exactly what it is that you think and you believe with conviction, because again, authenticity comes from conviction, and conviction creates massive levels of aura in every situation that you're in, right? You have to be able to say what you mean and mean what you say. And last, when it comes to authenticity, the first level of this framework is don't hide your intentions. A lot of people, when they move around, when they start to do a lot of things, they start to hide their intentions all the time. They start to do things and they almost feel like they're slick with it. Like they always do things under secrecy, and they try to like worm their way through things. It gives you this vicious, disgusting aura that just people just repel against. They're repelled against that, because the more that people can start to see that you're putting on a mask, again, a lot of nice guys, they do this, right? They hide their intentions. It lowers their aura because they're doing things that they genuinely just don't want to do. They're doing things because they have these intentions, especially with a woman, for example. And when they go with that woman, they hide those intentions and they do things that they genuinely don't want to do. And it destroys all of their aura as a man, right? So this is the framework for authenticity. That's level one. Level two, you have lore. Now you might be saying, what is lore, Martel? What are these Gen Z terms? See, I'm Gen Z Unc, right? I'm like on the cusp of Gen Z. I'm probably like literally at that year, 1997. I think 1998 is like Gen Alpha or whatever it is. So lore is very important, and a lot of us guys talk about lore, right? Lore is essentially the story that you have, your life story, like your whole entire background, all the experiences that you had. Have you ever read like a fiction book about a character? Like that whole story arc of the character. Right now, me and my wife are watching Power, right? James St. Patrick, or Ghost, has lore. He has this whole entire like life story that leads up to who he is, right? To develop lore, to build that pro level aura, that unstoppable aura that you want, you have to write your own script for how your life turns out and follow it to a fucking T. I tell a lot of guys this. You're currently running on a story that somebody else has written for you. The more that you can write your own story, take out a piece of paper and literally write down scene by scene, year by year, shit, day by day, how your life is going to turn out over the next few years. And start to follow that to a T. And you'll start to see that you will start to move through life with a lot more purpose, a lot more vigor, a lot more energy, a lot more aura. Because you're going to start having that thing that people are like, he's literally living life by his own terms, by his own means. He's doing his own thing. He has a story. He has a unique background that he's creating. It's almost like he's his it's the main character energy, right? The next, you want to be able to just try random shit. One thing that's random once a week. You can go to the gun range. You can go backcountry skiing. You can go parasailing. I don't give a fuck what you do. Paragliding, skydiving. Do something new and random once a week, because that will build on your lore, the stories that you can tell with people around you that build your aura. You do something that's difficult, that's random, that's spontaneous. You'll start to be more comfortable in random settings that you're not prepared for, because you do these things unprepared all the time. It becomes normal. Your aura goes up. Right? You become calm. The calmest man in the room has the greatest aura, by the way. And these are things that will create this calmness in your life. The next is learning a random skill no one would expect. You learn the piano, you learn salsa dancing, you learn a new language, you learn a new skill, something, right? That's going to give you high levels of aura, because people aren't going to expect that of you. It's almost like juxtaposition. Like, I know how to play the piano. People wouldn't expect that shit from me because I'm a black dude and I just look like one of those rock star athletes that walk around. Nobody would expect that I sit down and play classical piano. What the fuck? No. You know what I mean? So that juxtaposition is going to give you that lore that's going to give you that aura boost, right? The next is opening yourself up to heartbreak. See, as men nowadays, we get to a point where we care so much about getting our heart broken, and we feel like that's the worst thing possible. And we don't have these experiences that give us the lore, that give us the life experience to be able to discuss that, to be able to sink our emotions into what it is that we're doing based on the emotions that are generated from these heartbreaks. Men climb to the highest ceilings because of heartbreak. Open yourself up to it if you've never been heartbroken before. It's like, I'm telling you this right now. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're like, I don't want my heart broken. I'm a man, like, that's the worst possible thing. Like, that'll destroy me. Do it. You'll start to see how much lore you have, how many stories you have to tell, the experiences that you have, the new perspectives that you gain of yourself and of the people that you're surrounded by, all through opening yourself up for heartbreak. Like, actually loving a woman. You don't fall in love, which means you're head over heels. I'm saying you open up your heart for a woman to enter. Get yourself the opportunity to potentially be heartbroken. It will change your fucking life if that happens. And if it doesn't, great. Perfect. You're in a good relationship, right? The next, you want to go explore a third world country that no one's ever heard of. Very important, right? You go to like Vietnam. Well, people heard of Vietnam, but like places that people don't necessarily talk about. Everyone talks about Dubai, even though Dubai is not a third world country. They talk about these popular places to go. They talk about all of these different locations that are touristy. Go to like the slums of places, bro. Like, go to like some random place in the Philippines, or go to Pakistan, bro. Like, go to a third world country and experience that life, because that will give you lore. That will give you a story to tell. It will increase your aura, because you will not be comfortable going there, and you'll be forced to adjust to the language barriers. You'll be forced to adjust to the culture differences. It will give you a certain level of calmness when you go into other places that people can't replicate. It's literally what I did here in Romania. I moved to, people call Romania a third world country. That's what it is, right? I had to adjust. I had to learn. There were a lot of pitfalls. There were a lot of things that went wrong, but that gave me lore. I'm a black man in fucking Romania. How much lore can you get from that? You know what I mean? How much more could you get from that? That's what I'm saying. You got to have this juxtaposition, like doing shit that people don't expect, that gives you aura, unstoppable aura, right? And the last, when it comes to lore, go broke a couple times and bounce back. Some of y'all are so afraid to go broke. That shit is one of the best zero to hero stories that you can possibly take on, because the minute that you go through that process, you will learn so much about yourself. Every time I've went broke in my life, I've learned more about myself than I've ever learned before. Ever. Every single time that I've done that. And it's very important for you to go through that process, because you start to learn a lot about yourself. You start to learn a lot about your mind. You start to learn a lot about other people that you're around. And most importantly, you have lore. You have a story to tell. You have something that people can start to actually like listen to and understand that you've gone through actual life. You start to get these insights. They give you so much aura in different places that you're around. Go broke a couple times. Go take a massive shot. Go try to build a big company. That's what I did. I tried to build a big tech company, went broke doing it. The tech company, I was raising money, but at the same time, it failed. I went right back to square one. Had to figure things out. That gives me a story to tell, and it gives me a new level of confidence because I bounced back from zero. There's certain guys, trust fund babies that you'll see, they don't have any aura. They will never have confidence. They won't have any of this because they know in the back of their minds, if this money that's been given to me without me putting in any work, if I lose this shit, I don't know if I'll be able to get this shit back. I've never been at zero to even know. So you as a man, to be able to give yourself that advantage, that confidence, that aura that you want to get to a point where you've lost it all and you made that shit back to where it doesn't even mean anything. You know you can make it back at any point in time. You know what I mean? You gotta have that certain level of aura. Last but not least, the last part of the framework, level 3 of this framework, is frame. No play on words, no pun intended. Frame, sitting with an open posture. Y'all see my posture is open, right? Sit with an open posture. That shows that you're receiving, you're open to receiving. You have nothing to hide. Right? Everywhere that you go, sit like you're confident, sit like you own the room, right? Get lean and jacked. Do it. Go get in the best shape of your life. Go drop your body fat percentage down to like 12, 13%. Go build the muscle that you want to build naturally, right? Get all the muscle that you want to be able to build. Go have that physique that you want, that natural, lean, aesthetic physique that I always talk about. Go get that. That helps you with your frame, especially as a man, right? The next is don't stress about anything mentally. Nothing in life is worth stressing about. I'm telling you this right now. There is shit that you think that you're stressing so hard about that in the grand scheme of things, when you go to a bird's eye view, when you take life at a bird's eye view, it literally is a blimp in life. It doesn't matter as much, but we look at everything in such a microscope that we don't realize that nothing is actually worth mentally stressing about. Money, women, family, none of this shit's worth stressing about. Life is life, and you have to move through life. You have to be calm under pressure. You have to have that confidence. That's going to give you the aura, right? The next, don't ever act like you need anybody or anything. The more needy you are, especially as a man, the less people are going to be attracted to you, because people don't like people who need them. And the people who do like people who need them are the manipulators, right? They're manipulating. Maybe it's ethical manipulation. Maybe it's just diabolical manipulation. I don't know. But nobody who genuinely wants to be around you wants to always feel like you need something from them. You should always, even if you do need something, I was like this when, I was at a point where I wasn't really making that much money, and I was kind of just like in that transitionary period trying to figure shit out. I would go out to social events and people wouldn't feel like I needed anything from them. I wouldn't ask them for anything. I wouldn't pitch anything to them. I would just act like I was just a cool guy. And what's interesting is people felt that aura, that like, I don't give a fuck energy, that like, I'm not trying to take anything from you. And they would give a lot more than if I was to ask. So it's very important to never act like you need anybody or anything. The next is understand that nothing in the world is important to stress about. Nothing. Like I mentioned before, don't stress about anything mentally, but nothing physically to stress about. Don't kill yourself being worried about somebody else, being worried about somebody else's well-being, unless it's your close family, your kids, your wife, whoever it is. But other than that, bro, there's nothing to be stressed about. People have their own lives to figure out. You're not Dr. Fix-It for anybody. You got to fix yourself first. And you have to be cool. You have to be chill about it, The next is wear simple shit with statement pieces. A lot of guys, you see guys who they're rich and they wear all of these fucking designer clothes. They're literally dripped out in all designer. You can see Gucci plattered right here. You can see all of the Loro Piana here, all this shit. Wear simple shit and just have statement pieces. Wear like typical shit you can buy at Zara, bro. I wear shit from Zara. I wear H&M. And then I'll have statement pieces. I may have Balmain. I may have fucking YSL. I may have like little statement pieces, but it doesn't make me as a man. Your outfit doesn't make you as a man. You, the man, make the outfit. So keep the shit simple. Be laid back. Be cool about it. It gives you more aura. They're like, damn, he looks very good, but he's not flashy with it either. Like he just knows how to put himself together, right? The next is get 2 different types of shades. Now we're getting into more of like the details of shit, but it's very important. Like for your frame, like have some level of like, okay, you have a thin frame for like the smooth, classy look. And then you have more of like a thick frame for like that, like flashy, like athlete look that I always have. If you see a lot of my pictures, I have that thick frame and like I have more of like a flashy athlete look, like a rock star athlete. That's kind of like my archetype to a certain extent, even though I didn't really intend for it to be that way. It's what suits best for me. Because I used to be an athlete. I know how to dress. I have that swagger, that confidence, that aura, whatever you want to call it. I'm a pro aura farmer, bro. I walk around, I'm just trying to farm aura everywhere. Not intentionally, it just happens, right? And it's very important, bro. It's very important that you take this framework, this elite ball framework, right? And you develop a pro level aura to where like everywhere you go, people are like, who the fuck is that guy? Because you'll get attention from all kinds of people and more opportunities will come up. And the reality is most of these rich guys have 0 aura. So use that shit. And if you are a rich guy who has no aura, hit me up. Link will be in the description. Tap in with me or hit me up on IG. I really want to help people build their aura. And it's being multidimensional. It's being a guy who can nail all of these things that I'm talking about. Be a guy who's smooth. Be a guy who knows himself better than anybody else knows him. Be a guy who's living his own story, living his own script and understanding people, understanding charisma, understanding how to communicate with people. All this shit is necessary. You got the finances taken care of, but your aura is fucked up. I'm your guy. All my other links will be in the description if you want to tap in with me when it comes to communication, charisma, physique, YouTube personal branding. That's a aura masterclass in itself when it comes to YouTube. I've had guys literally blow their YouTubes up just following that course, like making more money than they did before. So all of these courses are very valuable. They're all proprietary to me. You can't find any of the kind online. It's literally like all unique shit. But I appreciate you guys. I hope this was valuable for you. More videos on aura because a lot of people don't have that shit. I walk around, there's just dead aura everywhere. People are literally just walking zombies, no life, no energy, no swagger, no nothing. This is the shit you need, right? So I appreciate you and I'll catch you on the next video.